Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Carollo's Corner, and it's all about scores.com. This afternoon, we have the head coach of the Cedar Creek Pirates, Mr. Jim Melody. How you doing today, Jim?
Very good. Thank you for having me on, Joe.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Get right to it. Tell me a little bit about this year's team. I know right now Cedar Creek has become a perennial power. I don't think this year's going to be any different. Tell us what you have in 2025.
A lot of guys with a lot of experience, guys that have played in some pretty big games over the last 2 years, especially. I mean, I probably have 6 or 7 3-year starters that played in the 23 sectional championship game, and you know, 17 returning starters from last year's team that played in the sectional semifinal. So it's a group of experience, and a group with a lot of talent. And they've shown really good progression over the last 4 years. It's a senior heavy team. I got about 19 seniors, which is a pretty big number for us at Cedar Creek. So we're just excited. They've been working really hard. So it's going to be a fun couple months if we do this thing the right way.
Yeah, I believe so. So it's no secret, what's your outlook this year? I'm sure it's the sky's the limit this year at Rutgers, that first week or not last week of November.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, I think that's going to be our goal every year. We really want to attain that every year. We want to try to find that sustained success in terms of what we are. That's the standard of our program. But yeah, I mean, that's the goal. That's what we're looking forward to. We had a team bonding meeting last night, and the kids echoed that. Every single one that got up and talked was saying the same thing in terms of we want to win a state championship.
All right. So what are your going into this? What do you think your biggest strengths you have to getting there, and what are some of the weaknesses you might have that could cause a little bump in the road?
Yeah, I mean, on defense, I have 9 returning starters. So I think the strength of our team is going to start on that side of the ball. Our all 4 linebackers are back: Jason Little, Amir Dunbar, Jawan McIntosh Ward, and Justice Payton, who's the captain and leader of the defense and what he does. I mean, he had 120 tackles last year. So that core group in the linebacker group is a very formidable group that does a lot of really good things. And then our defensive backfield is also a bunch of 3- and 4-year starters. So French Mathea, Jameer Canfield, Gian King, Ryan Stanton is new to our program, but he's been a very productive player over the last 2 years, and we're excited to welcome him. And he's going to be an exceptional talent. Eric Trebet's getting some work right now. He's a senior that is starting to come into his own. And then Sandy Thomas is a sophomore, a young kid that we're really excited about. So the defensive side of the ball, really like Mason Beck as our nose guard, a kid that has really become a force in the middle of the defense. So I'm really happy about where our defense is at. I have a running back on the offensive side of the ball that's had over 2,600 yards in his career so far. So he's a 3-year starter, Amir Dunbar. He's committed to the University of Maine. So we're going to be able to run the football at a high clip, I believe. I have, again, a lot of weapons outside. A lot of the guys that I just named. Yeah, a lot of the guys I just named were they're all wide receivers, and Frenchman's a kid that on the opposite side of the ball, he's Swiss Army knife. He can play quarterback. He can run the ball. He can throw the ball very well. He can be a wide receiver. We have a kid, Brandon Landesini. He's a young kid that is starting to come into his own. Had a really good summer. Who is going to also step in and play some quarterback. And I love where our offensive line's at. I got 3 returning starters on the offensive line, and Blake Hughes, Caleb Pettiford, and Slayton D'Amico, another kid that is transferring over from another program who started there. He's going to be a really good player for us. He's had a great offseason. Zach Kamenar is a kid that's going to step in and do some really good things. He's been in the program for 4 years. I'm excited about what he's going to be able to do. And my coaches just put him in really good positions, man. And on both sides of the ball, I've surrounded myself with really good men that really know the game and understand what we have to do to get to a high level. So it's been a really good mix. Our weaknesses is, I mean, how are we attacking every day? We have to find consistency in how we attack every day. And again, it's not a consistency; it's a question mark. It's You know,
Right.
what are we going to do on a day to day to make sure that we're progressing?
Little things. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's going to be the biggest thing. But so far, man, it's been really good.
Awesome. So who is the starting quarterback then? I know you mentioned some kid will be playing some, but you have a solid.
Yeah, so French Mabate played quarterback for me last year for 3 games, and then Riley Hoffacker came in and played the rest of the season, and French Mont moved to wide receiver. He's committed to Stony Brook to be a wide receiver. By trade, he's a wide receiver. But again, he can do so many special things with the ball in his hand. So he's going to be playing a lot of quarterback. And like I said, I have a junior coming up who's had a really good summer, Brandon Lanacini, who's also going to be in the mix and playing quarterback. So I'm not going to sit here and say I have a 2 quarterback system. I'm going to sit here and say we're going to see where we're going to see where it goes. They're still competing for where they fit in the offense, and when we figure that out, we'll roll with it.
All right, great. A week ago, I had Chuck Smith from Mainland on here, and I had asked him. Matter of fact, first I mentioned, I said, no good interview can go without a little bit of gossip, rumors, and stuff behind the scenes. You both are Group 3.
Yep.
Both are contenders. A lot of the rumors going around are it's already set in stone. It's Mainland versus Cedar Creek. These other 28 teams are just there to fill in space. Now, we know that's not necessarily the case. We have a lot of other teams. How do you keep the kids away from that, going down that road? It's like a bad road you don't want to go down because it can be anyone's undoing.
Yeah, I mean, again,
yeah,
I tell kids all the time, listen, Joe, on paper, we're really good.
I know.
Like on paper, we're really good. You don't play the game with paper. Like we're gonna have to go out and do some things. So none of that stuff matters. And again, I like you see different previews come out, and my kids are getting noticed. They should be proud of that. Like I'm never gonna say, don't be proud of that because you deserve to get recognition of what you've done up to this point. But it's about the now, and I don't know what other teams have right now. I really don't. I don't know what other teams did in the offseason to get better. There's always surprise teams that come out of nowhere and do some really good things. So I know Mainland's talented. I'm well aware of them, but there's a ton of talented teams in this group and in this section. So, and again, we're talented. We're going to be a tough team to play, I want to say, but again, if we're complacent, if we're not, we got to stay grounded and get better each week. And again, I've always done this, and I try my best to instill a championship mindset in their heads each and every week, that every game that you play, let's treat it like a championship game. And again, I've said it, probably cliche to say it, but just be 1-0 this week, and then we'll try to flip the page. And whether you fail in a loss or win, we got to flip the page. We can't sit on a win. We can't sit on a loss, and we got to get to the next week, and we got to get to the next challenge. And again, if you stack those weeks, you're going to put yourself in a pretty good situation at the end of the year. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a tough section. It always is. We're excited to be, a part of it and try to make our mark in it.
Sure. So getting to the playoffs, new form, a little bit of a new format this year.
Yeah.
Think that, give me your opinion on that, but do you think it affects you any or?
No, I like it. I like getting down to that overall state champion. Is that what we're talking about?
No, they
with the geographic stuff. Yeah. It's going to, the South Jersey section is going to be tough. It is. Historically, it kind of looks like over the last 4 or 5 years, at least since I've been in South Jersey, we've handled business with a lot of the Central Jersey teams in terms of where we're at. So I think that South Jersey section is going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, this year, and again, I'll just use you guys in Mainland for an example. Let's say you're the top 2. Only one of you would be South.
Right. Yeah, the second one would be Central.
Which means you would host all these teams from out of nowhere, which is great because the ride up there, especially on a Friday night, is not fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Trust me when I tell you.
Yeah, absolutely. Back in 21, we had Somerville came down here in a sectional semifinal game. That was a nice 2-hour ride for them. Like that was fun. We played them at noon on a Saturday.
I was there. I remember the game.
It must have been an 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock wake up for them that day. That's tough.
Because it's a long. I went there last year to see the Mainland game.
Right, exactly.
Game of the year, exciting. The ride up was not fun. We can get to that another time. So listen, I want to thank you for coming on the show today. I wish you guys the best of luck this year. I see great things happening. Definitely going to catch a few of your games. But got one quick question for you before you go. You guys have one of the most unique color combinations in South Jersey. So what's it going to be this year? Wearing dark green, wearing maroon. What's happening?
We have 4 different combos now, so we're gonna.
Wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, we're gonna have. There's gonna be a couple uniforms that we're gonna be able to break out this year, and
Right.
may have a different color helmet as well. So yeah, I mean we're
Every
kind of
game,
all over the place.
every game's going to be different. You're telling me.
Yeah, I mean it's great to have it. The kids
Yeah.
love it, but we'll yeah, there's going to be a couple combos that people
All
haven't
right.
seen yet.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. As always, those little things which add to the big things. Anyway, Jim, I want to thank you for coming on the show today. I'm going to be seeing you guys in a couple weeks. Again, this is Joe Carullo at Carullo's Corner at it'sallaboutScores.com. Jim, thank you again. Hope you have a great evening.
You too, Joe. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you.